On this worksheet, we're going to do a few different types of problems related to buffers. The first two problems are just asking us what we could combine with a molecule to turn it into a buffer. And as a reminder, there are two components of the buffer, and there are some rules about those two components. First of all, neither one of them can be a strong acid or a strong base. And then the other rule is that these two components must have a common ion. So either they need to have the same anion or they need to have the same cation. So looking at the first one, it's asking us what could we combine with HCN to make a buffer. First thing we would need to do is make sure that HCN is not one of our strong acids or strong bases. It's not. So then the next thing that we want to do is look for a substance that has that common ion. That means that it needs to have the cyanide ion in common. So it looks like our choice is going to be KCN. And just kind of as a tip, when we're looking for a common ion, the H plus ion doesn't count. So not the H plus ion, that does not count. What about our next one? What could we combine with HNO3 to make a buffer? First thing that we need to do is make sure that we're not dealing with a strong acid or a strong base. And this is a strong acid. HNO3 is one of our strong acids, which means that there's nothing you can do to turn this into a buffer. You could not combine anything with HNO3 and have it be a buffer. Next up, let's do some pH calculations of buffers. To calculate the pH of a buffer, we want to use the Henderson-Hasselbalch equation. The Henderson-Hasselbalch equation says pH equals pKa plus the log of the concentration of the base, the buffer's base, over the concentration of the buffer's acid. Now, there are a couple different versions of the Henderson-Hasselbalch equation, so you might be looking at a version that isn't exactly the same as what I wrote here. Maybe it's got a negative sign, maybe these are flipped around, maybe it's got a pKb instead, and that's fine. They're all going to give us the same calculation. So first thing we need to know is the pKb. The problem is giving us the Ka. As a reminder, pKa is the negative log of the Ka. So we just need to take the negative log of that 1.8 times 10 to the minus 5. Negative log of 1.8 times 10 to the minus 5 is 4.74. And then for the next component, we're going to be filling in the concentration of the base over the acid. So we've got two substances here. One of them is the base, one of them is the acid. Fortunately for this problem, they have the exact same molarity, so we really can't screw this up. But let's think about, which is which, just for situations where they don't have the same molarity and you could screw it up. The molecule that is an acid, remember that the acid is the proton donor, the H plus donor. The acid, by definition, will always have one more hydrogen than the base. So when you're comparing these two molecules and you're trying to decide which one is the acid, which one is the base, count hydrogens. This guy has 1, 2, 3, 4 hydrogens. This guy has 1, 2, 3 hydrogens. 4 hydrogens means that this guy is the acid. 3 hydrogens means that this guy is our base. So the base concentration, they're both exactly the same. 0.5 divided by 0.5, which gives us a pH of 4.74 because the log of 1 is 0. Here's another one for us to practice. Calculate the pH again. The pH is the pKa plus the log of the base over the acid. Concentration of the base over the concentration of the acid. So first thing we need to do is figure out what the pKa is. This problem is giving us the Kb, and we have a couple of options of how we could get Kb into pKa. I think the option that I'm going to take is to first calculate the pKb. The pKb is going to be the negative log of the Kb, and the pKb for this guy is going to be the negative log. Well, I think it's exactly the same as the problem up above. 4.74. Then I'm going to use the relationship pKa plus pKb is 14. And from that, I can get the pKa 9.26. Now, that's not the only way that you could do this. You could take the Kb and turn the Kb into Ka using the Kw equation. Kw is Ka times Kb. And then once you knew the Ka, you could get the pKa. No matter how you do it, though, you should get the same number. 9.26 plus the log of the base over the acid. So let's count up our hydrogens. We have 3 hydrogens in this molecule. We have 4 hydrogens in this molecule. Remember that the acid is the one that's going to have the more hydrogens. So this is our base, 0.074, and our acid is 0.17. 0.074 divided by 0.17, take the log of that and add it to 9.26. 8.90. The last problem that we're going to look at is asking us to make a prediction about what we need to do to make a particular buffer. We want to make a buffer that has a pH of 10.61. So let's get ourselves set up with Henderson-Hasselbalch. pH equals pKa plus the log of the concentration of the base over the concentration of the acid. And I'm just going to, I'm not even really reading much about what I'm being asked to do. I'm just going to start by plugging in stuff that I know I can plug in. So I know that I need to have a pH of 10.61, so I'm going to fill that in over here. My desired pH is 10.61. I can calculate my pKa, just like we did up above. I'm going to start by taking my pKb. That is going to be the negative log of the Kb. The pKb is negative log of 4.4 times 10 to the minus 4, 3.36. And then from there, I'm going to get my pKa, which is going to be 10.64. And I'll plug that pKa in, 10.64. So now we're getting over to the trickier part of the problem. What concentration of base, what concentration of acid? Well, first of all, let's figure out which is which. So we have CH3NH3Br, that's got 6 hydrogens. And then we have CH3NH2, this one has 5 hydrogens. So this is our acid because it has more hydrogens, and this is our base. It looks like we know the concentration of our base. Our base concentration is 1.10, and it's the concentration of the acid that we don't know. That's what we're being asked to figure out. How many grams do we need? So this concentration of acid is our unknown, and it's the part that we have to solve for. So what I'm going to do next is just figure out what this concentration is. We just have to do some math. 10.61 minus 10.64, what I'm doing is I'm taking this and I'm moving it over to the other side of the equation, so we get negative 0.03 is equal to the log of 1.1 over the concentration of the acid. And now we need to take the anti-log of both sides because we need to get rid of this log term in order to be able to solve for the acid. So we're going to go 10 to the negative 0.03, that's the anti-log, is equal to 1.1 over the concentration of the acid. And then I'm going to rearrange that. 10 to the negative 0.03 times the concentration of the acid is equal to 1.1. And now I can solve for the concentration of the acid. 1.1 divided by 10 to the negative 0.03 gives me 1.18 molar. Now that is not it's not exactly what the problem is asking us. The problem is asking us how many grams we need to add to 300 milliliters to get this concentration right here. So we've got to work a little bit more. We know that we want to have 1.18 moles of our acid, CH3NH3Br, per 1 liter. We know that we actually want to have 300 milliliters, or 0.3 liters, of this solution. And we can figure out how many grams of that acid are in a mole by adding up its molecular weight. 12 plus 3 hydrogen plus 14 for the nitrogen plus 3 more hydrogen plus 80 for the bromine is 112 grams per mole. And now we can do that math. 1.18 times 0.3 times 112, 39.65 grams of the acid CH3NH3Br.